Experimentation. Why should we be so afraid of it? We've been allowed to experiment on animals, which we see as lesser beings. Would it not be appropriate to say that certain humans might be considered as lesser beings? I'm not personally targeting anyone, but I do not believe that we should be so constricted by laws and ethics more often than morals. We should not be confined to what a law says. We should be allowed to experiment on humans if they give consent. There have been experiments where humans have been given consent, but the government impedes on progress. All governments impede on progress. And yet, the United States government has allowed some of the most horrific science experiments at all. Even our good neighbor Canada has helped a supposed war criminal from South Africa. First off, something simple. The monster experiment, where it was originally conducted in 1932. A group of orphans who stuttered in their speech impediments. One half was taken to one room, the other half was taken to another. One group would be told that they are condemned for having a speech impediment, where the other would say that they were gratified and held up high for having such a disorder, for lack of a better word. For some of the experimental subjects, it caused repercussions that lasted throughout their lives, causing mental instabilities. The man who conducted this experiment was, and figuratively I say this, castrated by the scientific community, and yet, not a decade later, the experiment was redone with a new control group. Children, nonetheless, were still used for that experiment. This country is nothing but a giant hypocrisy. People who find progress that people would want, the government tries to shut down to control us. Do not call me some conspiracy theorist, because you know this to be true. For instance, now, personally, I do not like the cloning of people, exact replicas that would cause devastation among everyone. I mean, the repercussions of normal cloning could be absolutely horrific. There are so many outcomes, and I agree that that is dangerous. But what I suggest is not what Hitler would conceive as. I do not mean by a master race of humans, but I say we develop an entirely new species that would outbreed humanity completely. Now, you call me crazy for saying this, but think about it. In the cloning process, to change certain factors, it requires certain genetic properties or code lines, DNA code lines, to be placed in the fetus before it is fully formed, we could create smarter, stronger, faster. We could create anything we wanted by this process, but everybody's too damn afraid. It's because nobody trusts anyone. Which is just sad but smart at the same time. From the wrong hands, this process could be out of control. But we need to create something better. Humanity has grown to its apex, and now we are starting to fall. We must upheave a new people to replace us. Now, before you decide I'm a quack, do think about it. We could effectively create a new people to replace us that would be better than we are. No more minorities, no more majorities, no more separation. I'm not saying create an entire world of the same people. I'm saying we stop giving birth to humans. We start a new way of life. Now, I would not expect anyone who is listening to this to believe what I'm saying, to understand right off the bat, but think about it. I know it's very hard to think of the extinction of humanity, but we are vindictive, self-gaining, manipulative scum. It is only those with open minds that reach beyond the human apex. And for those who don't know, apex refers to the final stages in what humanity has come to. I honestly see it as sad to see humanity the way it is. Our flesh cannot stop a bullet, and we spend thousands of dollars, if not more, obviously, on ways to prevent injuries as such. What if we developed a new race with skin that could effectively be impenetrable by any projectile weapons? And with bones that are so dense, so hard, that even at a fall of 10 stories, they would not break. Humanity's outlived its usefulness to this world, and it is now destroying it and destroying itself. We should not be allowed to continue if we continue this path. And so far, I do not see anyone changing it. I only see an opportunity to give birth to a new life. But our governments will not allow such a thing, because they are afraid of progress. They only wish for advancement that benefits them. Humans thirst and lust for power. That is all humans care for now. True, there are a few who will give their shirt off their back for another human, But those people are dwindling, and dwindling fast. We must stand up and say that we no longer want your control. We want to make our own destiny. And if we do not change from what we are, then we must get rid of what we are and create a new generation of people that will be better than us, that'll be stronger than us, ones who will preserve our memory but continue to move forward. I ask you to believe in what I say. I understand if you don't. To all people, what I say would scare them. What I say would frighten them because they fear an extinction of the human race. But understand, this would not be an extinction. This would merely be a new evolutionary stage. We can do it. We have the technology to move forward. But it is those who create the laws that bind us to what we are. They keep us from being better. We should not allow them to govern us. We must move forward.